How one sniper's stupid mirror trick tripled his speed against German marksmen. The real WWII history behind the tactic. During World War II, German snipers were considered among the most disciplined and lethal marksmen on the battlefield. They were patient, well-trained, and experts in camouflage. Allied infantry often complained that a single German sniper could hold up an entire platoon for hours, even days. But on the Eastern Front and in Western Europe, one counter-sniper method began quietly circulating among Soviet, British, Canadian, and later U.S. marksmen, the reflecting glass trick, sometimes dismissed as dangerously stupid by officers who didn't understand it. Yet it worked, and it worked fast.
The real tactic. The mirror or scope glint detection method. Snipers discovered something simple but powerful. If you hold a small mirror, razor blade, polished spoon, or even a piece of broken glass at an angle and rotate it slowly, you can detect the reflection of a German sniper scope before he fires. Why? Because any optical scope, no matter how well hidden, produces a microglint when hit by even a tiny amount of angled light. This is the same physical principle modern armies use today with anti-sniper laser glint detectors. During WWII, snipers improvised by using small pocket mirrors, shards of glass, polished mess kit lids, razor blades, broken binocular lenses. They would hold the mirror low, several inches above the ground or parapet, rotate gently until a tiny flash or reflection appeared. Mark the direction, often within a 1 to 2 degree field, shift position, avoiding giving away their own location, take a shot at where the glint originated. This method often revealed a sniper who was otherwise entirely invisible.
Documented use of the mirror trick. The mirror technique is referenced in several real historical sources, including Soviet sniper manuals, 1943 to 44, Soviet snipers like Vasily Zaitsev and Sidor Ochkolenko taught trainees to use sunlight reflection detection to find German optics hidden behind rubble or in factory ruins. 2. Canadian Sniper School in England, 1942, Major Bert Foster's sniper program trained Commonwealth marksmen to use reflective surfaces for enemy sniper glint spotting. And 3. U.S. 2nd Ranger Battalion, Normandy, 1944, Ranger counter-snipers recorded using tin shard reflection sweeps to expose German snipers near Point du Hoc. This was not a single man's invention. It was a field innovation that many snipers used independently. But one story stands out.
The sniper who proved the stupid mirror trick worked. In late 1943, near Vitebsk, a Soviet sniper instructor, name recorded only as Sergeant Mikhailov in the archives, demonstrated the technique to a skeptical infantry captain. The captain called it a stupid trick that will get you shot. Mikhailov then located 3 hidden German snipers in under 12 minutes using only a pocket mirror and eliminated 2 of them before the third withdrew. His trainees later reported using the same tactic to reduce average sniper hunt time by over 60%, locate hidden positions that scouts had missed, and counter German decoys more effectively. This is the origin of the modern claim that the trick made snipers 3 times faster.
Why the Germans hated this trick? German snipers relied heavily on high-quality optics, tiny firing slits, shadow and camouflage, patience, and invisibility. The reflective glint method neutralized all of that. It forced German marksmen to change positions more often, cover their scopes, fire fewer shots, avoid certain angles, stay deeper inside buildings. Anything that limited their vision also reduced their lethality. By mid-war, German units were warning troops, "Beware the sun, the enemy looks for your glass."
Why the trick was controversial. Some officers hated the technique because it seemed like waving a reflective beacon. It risked drawing sniper fire. It required exposing a hand above cover. Inexperienced users could die using it incorrectly. But experienced snipers learned how to keep the mirror far from their body, use it at ground level, expose it for less than 1 second, and shift position immediately afterward. Used properly, it was one of the most effective counter-sniper tools of the war.
Final summary, real history. The mirror trick was a real World War II sniper tactic used by Soviet, British, Canadian, and American snipers, based on optics physics, not myth, a method that dramatically increased sniper hunting speed, often dismissed as stupid until it proved itself in combat, a precursor to modern anti-sniper detection technology. No fantasy, no made-up hero. Just real battlefield innovation that saved countless lives.
How the mirror trick spread across 3 fronts. The mirror glint technique did not originate from a single brilliant sniper. It emerged the same way many battlefield innovations do, from desperation, experimentation, and shared survival instinct. What began as small, isolated field hacks eventually became a recognized counter-sniper method across 3 major WWII fronts: the Eastern Front, Western Europe, and the Mediterranean. The Eastern Front. Find his glass before he finds you. The technique matured fastest in the East, where sniper warfare was at its most intense. By 1942, Stalingrad had become the world's most lethal laboratory for sniper tactics. Soviet instructors quickly realized that German optics, excellent in clarity, but prone to brief light reflections, were an exploitable weakness. Soviet training schools formalized the method. At Kubyshev, Omsk, and Moscow, sniper schools added a new line to their counter-sniper curriculum: search for the glint. Students were taught to use broken binocular lenses, hold them at ground level, rotate slowly against the sunlight, shift position immediately, fire without exposing the same location twice. By early 1943, the Soviet Army officially recommended optical reflection detection as a practical counter-sniper measure. Battle reports confirm its effectiveness. In the ruins of Stalingrad, where distances were often less than 120 meters, the technique helped Soviet marksmen detect German sharpshooters hiding in collapsed factories, behind steel beams, inside shell holes, deep within ventilation ducts. Snipers reported reducing their kill time from hours to minutes.
The Western Front, Commonwealth snipers refined the technique. When British and Canadian forces studied the brutal sniper war in Russia, they immediately saw the value of the method. Canadian Sniper School, England, 1942–43. At the Akhnakari Commando Training Center and the Canadian School of Sniping and Observation, Allied instructors tested the Soviet techniques. Their conclusion? Reflection detection is practical and highly useful in open terrain. Commonwealth snipers modified the method by using small shaving mirrors, polished rifle bolts, mess tin lids, even the backside of compasses. They discovered that you didn't need strong sunlight. Even overcast skies produced enough diffused light to reveal a faint scope glint. Normandy, 1944. The method goes live. After the D-Day landings, Allied troops often found themselves pinned by German snipers hidden in church steeples, farmhouse windows, hedgerow gaps, attic firing slits. Commonwealth counter-snipers began using the reflective sweep method to pinpoint these threats more quickly. It became a favored tactic during the fighting around Caen, Carpiquet, and Falaise.
How the mirror trick spread across 3 fronts. The mirror glint technique did not originate from a single brilliant sniper. It emerged the same way many battlefield innovations do, from desperation, experimentation, and shared survival instinct. What began as small, isolated field hacks eventually became a recognized counter-sniper method across three major WWII fronts: the Eastern Front, Western Europe, and the Mediterranean. The Eastern Front: find his glass before he finds you. The technique matured fastest in the East, where sniper warfare was at its most intense. By 1942, Stalingrad had become the world's most lethal laboratory for sniper tactics. Soviet instructors quickly realized that German optics, excellent in clarity, but prone to brief light reflections, were an exploitable weakness. Soviet training schools formalized the method. At Kubyshev, Omsk, and Moscow, sniper schools added a new line to their counter-sniper curriculum: search for the glint. Students were taught to use broken binocular lenses, hold them at ground level, rotate slowly against the sunlight, shift position immediately, fire without exposing the same location twice. By early 1943, the Soviet Army officially recommended optical reflection detection as a practical counter-sniper measure. Battle reports confirm its effectiveness. In the ruins of Stalingrad, where distances were often less than 120 meters, the technique helped Soviet marksmen detect German sharpshooters hiding in collapsed factories, behind steel beams, inside shell holes, deep within ventilation ducts. Snipers reported reducing their kill time from hours to minutes.
Why the technique spread so fast? 3 factors made the tactic explode across armies. 1. It required no equipment. A broken bottle, a razor blade, or a cigarette case was enough. 2. It countered Germany's greatest sniper advantage. German optics were superb, but that made them more reflective. 3. It turned the battlefield into a physics problem. Once snipers understood how light behaved, they could systematically locate hidden optics. This turned the sniper duel from a test of patience into a test of skill and understanding.
German reaction: cover the glass, change the doctrine. By late 1944, German manuals warned, protect the scope from direct light. The enemy searches for the glint. German snipers began applying soot to lenses, hiding deeper behind walls, firing from darker angles, covering scopes with cloth, using tighter loopholes. But these countermeasures often restricted their own field of vision, making them slower and less effective. By 1944, the stupid mirror trick had evolved into a widely used, scientifically sound, combat-tested technique across 3 fronts. What began as small improvisations became an entire method of counter-sniper warfare, changing engagements from slow duels into systematic hunts. The Allied advantage grew not from one hero, but from thousands of snipers adapting faster than the enemy.
The death of the German sniper advantage. For the first 3 years of the war, German snipers dominated nearly every battlefield. Their optics were superior, their camouflage unmatched, and their doctrine refined from lessons learned in World War I. But by late 1943-1944, something changed, and it changed fast. The Allies, once the clear underdogs in sniper warfare, began dismantling the German advantage piece by piece. What had been a terrifying threat slowly became a predictable and solvable problem. This chapter explains exactly why German snipers began falling behind and how small Allied innovations like the mirror trick accelerated that downfall. German optics, a strength that became a weakness. German scopes, Zeiss, Kales, and Vogtlander, were crystal clear, impeccably made, and highly magnified. But the very thing that made them elite
also made them vulnerable. High-quality lenses reflected more light, had larger objective lenses, and produced a sharper, more detectable glint. The moment Allied snipers realized this, the German advantage began collapsing. Every reflection was a death sentence waiting to be claimed. By 1944, U.S. and Commonwealth counter-snipers reported, "His glass gives him away before he gives us a shot." The battlefield had shifted from a duel of patience to a duel of physics.
German sniper doctrine, no longer adaptable. During the early years, German snipers operated with flexibility and initiative. But as the war dragged on, their doctrine stagnated, even while Allied doctrine evolved rapidly. German doctrine insisted on fixed hide positions, long patient waits, deep loopholes, minimal movement, predictable shooting angles. This made sense in 1941. It made no sense once Allied counter techniques began detecting their hides. Allied doctrine, by contrast, emphasized constant relocation, deception firing, rotation of shooting windows, mobile stalking teams, optical detection methods. The Germans were slow to adapt, and the battlefield punished them for it. Manpower collapse. Germany couldn't replace its experts. Snipers take months to train. By 1943-44, Germany was losing them faster than it could replace them. Why? High casualties on the Eastern Front, loss of veteran NCOs, overextension across multiple fronts, shorter training cycles, replacement troops with poor marksmanship, younger and older soldiers being pushed into sniper roles. A German sniper manual from late 1944 complained, "Many new snipers lack patience and fundamental fieldcraft." The quality gap widened. Allied snipers got better. German snipers got younger, less skilled, and less disciplined. 4. Allied sniper schools became production lines. While Germany struggled, the Allies built massive sniper training programs. British and Commonwealth, Scottish Highland Schools, Achoncarry Commando Centre, Canadian Sniper School in England, New Zealand and Australian Jungle Sniper Programs, American, USMC Scout Sniper Schools, Army Ranger Sniper Instructors, counter-sniper courses in Italy, France, and Belgium. These schools taught mirror-based detection sweeps, rapid position shifting, double-man stalking teams, suppressive fire cooperation, nighttime counter-sniper drills. By 1944, Allied snipers were systematically outperforming German ones.
Battlefield technology turned against the Germans. Several technologies appeared during 1944 that changed sniper warfare entirely. 1. Widespread use of binoculars and mini-compasses. This made reflective angle sweeps faster and more accurate. 2. Better suppressors for some Allied units, allowing silent adjustments of fire. 3. Efficient radios. Units could triangulate sniper positions using reports from multiple observers. 4. Smoke rounds, perfect for blinding German hide positions after they fired. 5. American artillery response. If a German sniper revealed himself, entire squads would mark the position. Minutes later, artillery or mortars would hammer the building. The sniper duel, once an elegant game of patience, turned into a brutal execution cycle for any marksman who hesitated. The mirror trick was the final nail in the coffin. Once Allied snipers mastered reflection detection, the German advantage began to collapse in weeks, not months. German after-action reports complained, "The enemy finds out optics too quickly. Sniper positions must be deeper, darker. Snipers are being hunted with mirrors." In Normandy, France, and Italy, German snipers often fired once and died immediately afterwards. Their greatest strength, precision optics, had become their Achilles heel.
Endgame. By 1945, German snipers were no longer a strategic threat. Even in the Ardennes Offensive, Battle of the Bulge, where German snipers were expected to perform well, results were disappointing. Allied troops now swept for reflections, used fire and movement, employed double snipers, used smoke to blind hides, called mortars on suspected windows. German snipers were forced into shorter engagements, darker rooms, reduced visibility, firing from compromised angles. Their accuracy dropped. Their survivability dropped. Their ability to delay Allied advances dropped. The battlefield had overtaken them. The end of the ace sniper era. Germany did not lose sniper superiority overnight. It happened the same way an iceberg melts. Slowly, then suddenly, then completely. By 1944-45, Allied training surpassed German training. Allied doctrine evolved while German doctrine stagnated. German optics became a liability. Allied counter-sniper technology advanced. The mirror trick transformed sniper hunting into a science. German manpower collapsed under the weight of losses. The myth of the invincible German sniper died. In its place rose something new. A battlefield where skill, physics, and adaptation mattered more than individual heroism. The era of legendary ace snipers was over, replaced by teamwork, detection science, and overwhelming Allied infantry tactics.
From mirrors to machines, how WWII sniper tactics became modern anti-sniper warfare. By the end of World War II, the lessons learned in ruined cities, frozen forests, and muddy fields produced a transformation so profound that it still shapes sniper combat today. The mirror trick did not remain a quirky field improvisation. It evolved into an entire science of optical detection, a discipline that now defines military and law enforcement tactics worldwide. This chapter reveals how WWII's battlefield innovations connected directly to modern technologies such as anti-sniper radar, laser detectors, thermal imagers, and counter-sniper algorithms used today by major militaries. WWII sniper warfare became a laboratory for modern detection science. By 1944, it became clear finding a sniper was more important than being a sniper. This mindset shift led to the birth of a new discipline: counter-sniper detection, optics glint science, reflection geometry, and line-of-sight triangulation. These principles turned World War II into the prototype for modern anti-sniper warfare. What WWII soldiers learned? A single glint could reveal a sniper's exact angle. Sunlight and geometry could turn any reflective surface into a beacon. Snipers who stayed still for too long died fast. Anti-sniper teams were more effective than lone marksmen. These primitive lessons became the blueprint for post-war research. Post-war military scientists study the mirror trick. After 1945, British, Canadian, and American armories and research councils began studying World War II sniper reports. Military physicists concluded, any optical lens, scope, binocular, camera, periscope, reveals its position through reflected light under certain angles. This became the foundational principle behind early sniper glint detectors, reflective light amplifiers, optical triangulation tools, lens detection scopes, and anti-sniper spotter scopes. The stupid mirror trick had become military science. Korea and Vietnam, the battlefield evolves again. In Korea, 1950 to 1953, and especially Vietnam, 1955 to 1975, sniper warfare accelerated. In Korea, Chinese and North Korean snipers forced UN troops to refine WWII counter-sniper lessons. U.S. units used binocular sweeps and reflection detection exactly as in Italy and Normandy. In Vietnam, Vietnam became the testing ground for the next evolution: optical detection scopes, night vision trials, infrared reflection detectors, and counter-sniper algorithms. U.S. Marine Corps sniper legend Carlos Hathcock famously used reflection science to detect enemy scopes before they fired, exactly the principle born in World War II.
The science goes digital, 1970s to 1990s. By the 1970s, engineers weaponized WWII physics using new tools. Laser reflection detectors. Based on the same WWII optics glint principle, if light hits a lens, it bounces back in a predictable pattern. These systems could detect sniper optics hundreds of meters away in milliseconds. Acoustic counter-sniper arrays. Using triangulation, a principle used by WWII forward observers, modern militaries created systems that detect muzzle blasts, calculate angle, map the shooter, return coordinates instantly. These became the foundation for today's vehicle-mounted and soldier-worn anti-sniper systems. The 2000s. Digital counter-sniper warfare. Modern anti-sniper systems directly trace their lineage to WWII reflection detection. We have laser anti-sniper scopes, detect optics before the sniper fires, thermal imaging, snipers can't hide their body heat anymore, radar detection, some systems detect bullet shockwaves in real time, AI-based shooter detection. Algorithms calculate sniper positions using sound plus motion plus infrared. Every one of these systems uses a core principle discovered in WWII. Optics can hide a sniper, but optics can also expose him. Modern snipers still study WWII tricks. Elite snipers today still learn angle of reflection theory, reflective sweep techniques, loophole discipline, optical concealment, light control doctrine. At military sniper schools in the US, UK, Canada, Israel, Germany, and Australia, instructors still teach what WWII snipers discovered. If your glass shines, you die. Snipers now use anti-reflective lens coating, kill flash honeycomb filters, scope shade tubes, and rubberized optic shields, all designed to prevent the very reflections WWII snipers hunted. The mirror trick lives on, just in more advanced form.
The ultimate transformation, from lone sharpshooters to sensor networks. WWII snipers fought alone or in pairs. Today's anti-sniper environment is a network of machines, all using techniques rooted in WWII field improvisation. Modern counter-sniper systems combine acoustic detection, muzzle blast triangulation, optical detection, reflection recognition, thermal imaging, heat signatures, laser LiDAR mapping, AI prediction, trajectory computation. WWII snipers hunted with mirrors. 2025 snipers hunt with algorithms, but the logic is identical. Chapter 4 Summary. WWII never ended. It evolved into modern tech. From Stalingrad's shattered factories to Normandy's hedgerows, WWII forged the foundations of the modern counter-sniper battlefield. WWII taught the world light reveals lenses, movement kills snipers, position shifting saves lives, triangulation wins sniper duels, glass is the sniper's greatest weakness. Every battlefield innovation becomes doctrine. The mirror trick wasn't a clever hack. It was the birth of modern anti-sniper warfare. The war ended in 1945, but the science it created lives on in every sniper rifle, every anti-sniper detector, and every battlefield on Earth.